Imagine there is a marriage function at your home, and now your father tells everyone in the family that prepare the guest list. So all of you are going to write their names. And it is very obvious that many names will be common, like Mama, Masi, Chacha, Fufa, and many more. So many names will repeat or appears again and again. And now finally, when your father sits to make the final guest list, he does one very simple thing. If name is already written and it is repeating again, he does not count it again. So what he does? He keeps only the unique name, and that what exactly Python set does. A set can store multiple values, but it automatically removes duplicate and keeps only the unique elements. This is what the set is. So in this video, we are going to explore all of the things about sets. What is sets? How to understand it, its property, how to add elements, remove elements, and many more about sets. And the most important thing is I am going to share some of the very important MCQs that can be very much important from exam point of view, and that will be presented at the end of the video. So now without wasting time, let's get started. So first of all, let's understand what is set. Basically, a set is the collection of unique elements. What does it mean? That simply means no duplicates. Each values appears only once in entire list or in entire output. Now let's take an example to understand this. So let's say this is the number variable, and in this variable we are going to store these values like 10, 20, 10, 30, 10, 20 like this. So here, even though 10 and 20s are written twice, the set will keep only unique values, or it will keep it only once. So when we run this thing, you'll be able to see the output here 10, 20 and 30. So only unique values is considered. So this simply means Python automatically removes the duplicate values from the set. Now after this clarity, let me show you how to create the set, right? And that is very important because now we have basic idea about set, but now we want to learn how to create that set. So in order to create the set, what we are going to do, we are going to use the curly braces. Now here this is very important, right? To create the set, we are going to use curly braces. And what is the easiest way to remember this? Just imagine the shape of S and the half of the shape of curly braces. They are almost similar like this, right? So looking at this, you can remember that if you want to create set S curly braces, this is the way. So by writing anything in curly braces, we are going to create a set. Now let's execute this thing, and here you can see S1, the data type is set and the values are 1, 2 and 3. After this, there is one more way to create the set, and that is using set. So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to write set, then into the braces you're supposed to write your data into the square braces, and this is how you are going to create S2 set. Let's execute this thing, and here you can see S2. Now here I have one fundamental question, that initially I have provided this braces, then why I need to provide another square braces when I'm creating set using this function. So now let me explain you this. When you are writing S2 is equal to set of into the square bracket 1, 2, 3, you are calling the set creator function. So set into the braces is a function, and function in Python uses parenthesis. So basically when you write a set and two braces, you are actually calling set function. And then why two square brackets and then 1, 2, 3? So when you write set and two braces, that expects some iterables input inside it. And what could be the iterable input? That could be either list, tuple, string, range, or anything else. So if you want to represent list, you write 1, 2, 3 in square brackets. And if you want to represent anything else, you use something else. And what if I do not write this braces? What will happen? Let me show you. Now here S2 is equal to this what we have written. But now what I am doing, I am removing these two square braces. And now let's execute this thing, and it is going to show me an error. But instead of this, if I write like this, it is not going to show me an error, and actually it's going to store this as set. And here we have stored this value as a list. Now what if you don't want to store this as a list? Let's say you want to store this as tuple. Then what are you supposed to do? If you want to store this as tuple, you're supposed to write, or you're supposed to make another two braces like this, and then you execute this thing, and this will store this as tuple. And what if you want to store this as string, right? So let's say if I want to store something as string, let's say I want to write subscribe to learning vibes and go, and this will store the string as set. Here repeated values would not be stored multiple times, right? Here n is multiple times, right? I is multiple times. Let's open this and see. Here n is only once, I is only once. So this is how you can store string into set. Now what if you want to create empty set, right? So if you create empty set like this, it would not consider this as set, but rather it would consider this as dictionary, because this is the by default way of storing empty dictionary in Python. So if you want to create empty set, then how to do it? So to create empty set, you're supposed to write empty is equal to set into the braces nothing. When you write this thing and execute, it's going to create empty set. Here you can see empty set, there is nothing inside it, right? So this is the way to create empty set. I hope the fundamentals of set is clear to you. Now let me show you some of the most important properties of set. But before that, there is a quick short question for you, and the question is on your display. Which symbol is used to create a set in Python? Your options are this: A, B, C, and D. And I think this is one of the easiest question I can ask you, right? So go to the comment section, quickly type the answer, and then we can move to the next segment. So now here we are going to explore different properties of set. And the first property of set is no duplicates. If there are multiple similar values into the set, it will only store unique values. And that is the property of set. Here you have seen 10, 20, 10, right? So here 10 and 20 is repeating multiple times. But if we just execute this thing, you can see only unique values. So this is the first property of set, that no duplicates. Then the second property is it is unordered. The order of storing is not fixed. So let's say you have created s variable, and when you execute this thing, it will store the s as this abc, but the order of storing would not be fixed. Here you can see cba. This is the way it has stored the values, right? So there is no fixed order, and when you open it, you will be able to find bca, right? So ordering would not be fixed. Then after, another important property is set is mutable. You can add and remove elements from the set. So I think this properties of set is clear to you. So based on this, there is a quick short question for you. And your question is this: which of the following best describes a set in Python? A. Ordered collection with duplicates. B. Unordered collection with duplicates. C. Unordered collection without duplicates. And D. Ordered collection without duplicates. Think over it and then write your answer into the comments. And now let me show you how to add elements and how to remove elements from the set. So let's say this is our variable s1, right? Here we have 1, 2, 3 values in s1. What if I want to add one more values to this s1? So what I'll do, I'm going to write s1 dot add into the braces 4 and then execute, and it will add that 4 into this s1. But this is possible when you want to add only one element at a time. But now what if you want to add multiple elements at a time? Then you supposed to write like this, s1 dot update. This is important, remember this, s1 dot update. So when you write update, it is able to add multiple values at a time. So here I am updating two values, execute this thing, and here I have updated multiple values at a time. Now after this, what if you want to remove something from this s1? So for that, you're supposed to write s1 dot remove, and then into the braces, whatever you want to remove, you can directly write. Execute this thing, and here you can see now the 2 has been removed. But in this case, one of the very important thing is when you write remove and 2, now you see here, there is no 2 in this set. So when there is no 2 into the set and when you use this method, it's going to create an error, right? So in order to avoid that error, what you're supposed to do, instead of using s1 dot remove, you're supposed to write s1 dot discard and then write whatever values you want to discard. Let's say we want to discard 3, so we'll execute this thing, and here you can see 3 has been discarded. Now again we'll do the same thing, s1 dot discard 3, but in this case there is no such error onto the display. So this could be the advantage of using discard. Now I'm going to show you different mathematical operations that you can perform with set. There are multiple operations, but here I am giving you few of the example. So first of all, we are going to create two variables a and b, right? So here we have two variables a, b, they both are set. Now what we are going to do, we are going to do the union operation. This all the elements will be combined. So you can do a union b, and then they will combine both. The repeated value is 3, but it will be placed only once because it is set. Now there is one more way to create union, and that is a dot union of b, and it's going to create the same thing. Now if you want to create intersection of this, then you're supposed to do a and b. That is a logical operation also. So a and b, in this case, whatever common in both the variables, that will be stored as a set. The another way of doing this is a intersection of b, right? The third is differences. If you want to create another set of differences, or if you want to get the differences of a and b, then you're supposed to do a minus b. It will give differences of a and b. And the another way of doing this would be a dot differences of b, and there you go. So these operations are very much useful operations when you are doing some practical things like merging list, finding some common students, or removing repetitive entries, and many different things. Now based on this, I'm going to ask you a quick short question, and your question is this: which method adds multiple elements to a set? Your options are A. Add, B. Update, C. Append, D. Insert. Think over it. What to use when we want to add multiple values at a time? Think over it and then write the answer into the comments. Once you are done with that, now let's move ahead. Now, what if you want to test or you want to check that whether an element is a part of a set or not? You want to check that name Mruduraj is there in the list or not, right? So in order to do that, what you're supposed to do, you just simply write 10 in A. So it will check A whether there is 10 or not. When you execute this, it says false. Why? Because 10 is not the part of A. But instead of this 10, what if we are going to write 1? then it indicates true. So this is how you can check the membership, right, of any element into the set. So these were some of the common things about set. Now let me tell you some of the important applications or where set can be useful. Now let me show you some of the applications of set, some of the real world applications of set. For example, if you want to find out duplicate phone number, duplicate email ID, then you can use set for removing duplicates. Let's say you want to find a common students between two classes, then you can find common items using sets. Then let's say you want to search for hashtags, you want to search some important terms. For that you can use set, like unique keyword identification or unique tag identification, that also possible with the set. So set is very common in real world coding, real world programming, especially data cleaning and comparing data. That is very common with set. And even when you are working with big data, a large data set, in that set is going to be very crucial and very important. So that's all from the set data type. In next video we are going to explore binary data type. But now in next segment of this video I am going to ask several important questions that could be useful for your examinations. So stay tuned to this video. And your question is this: what will be the output of the following code? S is equal to this, and when you print this S, what will be the output? Your options are A, B, C and D. Think over it and then try to write the answer into the comments. This is your first question, and for each question you get 1 point. So now let's see how many points you can collect, and at the end of the video write in the comments that how many points you have collected. Your next question is this: which statement is true about sets? Sets always duplicate values, sets are immutable, sets are unordered, set supports indexing. Think over it and then write the answer. Which method is used to add a single element to the set? Insert, append, extend and add. Think over it and then write the answer into the comments. What is the correct way to create an empty set? A, B, C and D. And I think this would be very much easy to answer, right? So quickly write the answer into the comments. Which method removes an element without causing an error if it does not exist? Remove, pop, discard and delete. Think over it and then write the answer into the comments. What will be the expression 5 in 1 to 3 returns? A, 5, B, true, C, false and D, error. So ultimately when you execute this 5 in this, it will result in what output that you're supposed to answer. And this was your last question. So now write how many points you have collected in this video. Write your answer into the comments. So once everything is done, let's see you into the binary data type in Python. Bye bye.